really just love when I start and something just magically happens with the clip that I had recorded. It's so fun, and it just goes away and it just disappears forever. It's great. It's great. Anyway, what's up, you guys? I am here. I am here with you. I got my coffee. All right, so let's check out what is going on today. What happened yesterday? What happened last week? What's going to happen tomorrow? We're going to figure that all out today. All that coming up on Oh Lord, What is the Truth podcast featuring me, your host, Ray. So excited to have you guys here. Okay, so let's get into it. Trump declares for Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy Department of Government Efficiency. So, what is that? You ask. So it's obviously a brand new department. Yes, they did make it up, and that's fine because change is okay. In fact, change is necessary in these times. That's what I think. I think change is necessary. So let's get into what is it about, because a lot of people are upset about it, of course, because anything that requires change and efforts of thinking about what somebody else or the government might have in mind, but they're all bad, right? They're all negative. Everything that they do is bad because it involves Trump. And just take a second to think about what could be good about it, though. Okay, so the purpose is to dismantle the government bureaucracy. It's putting efforts together to undo and defend the deep state, or rather the elites. So despite the name Department of Government Efficiency, they will be working outside of the government to offer the White House advice and guidance, and will partner with the office management and budgeting team. Okay, so that doesn't sound too bad, right? All right, so let's break it down a little bit. Elon Musk is a businessman. He must be great with finances, right? He's the richest person in the world. He's the richest man in the world. So I mean, he didn't get there because he was twiddling his thumbs. He's good with finances. And so I think that he'll be really good with this position. And why they chose him is because we need new people. Okay, we need new people in the government, circle. And America is telling us that we need a change. That is why he won this presidency, because so many people are unhappy with the way that things are going. And so yeah, I mean, it's different, and people don't know much about Elon Musk. And if you do, you're either thinking negatively or positively about him. Personally, I think that he can bring a positive light um to the department. And I don't know much about Vivek. I did see him once at the Brainwash tour, which is Charlie Kirk's. He's the founder of Turning Point USA, and Vivek Ramaswamy, he is the one who kind of hosted the event. So he's great. I mean, I agree with everything he says, of course. And so I obviously like what he brings to the table, and the things that he stands for and his values. So to work together, I don't know how that's going to go. But I'm sure it'll be great, and I'm just excited to see all of what is to come. And so The next part about this is, for the purpose of it, is that they are looking to slash excess regulations and cut wasteful expenditures. I feel like that's obvious. These are pretty big problems that we have when it comes to spending too much in unnecessary places of the, I was going to say the world, but the US, and well, really the world too, considering some of the countries that we're giving all of our money to rather than helping out the people that we need to in America. Uh, so, yeah. Uh, so yeah, I mean, another reason why Elon Musk is going to be good for this position, because he's a financial guru. He's going to be great with this kind of stuff. And then the next thing is that they want to restructure federal agencies, for obvious reasons as well. It is a waste of money. It's a waste of money. There's too many people doing the job of one person. There's like 3 to 5 people per one job. That's completely unnecessary. So again, cut it off. When Elon took over Twitter, he got rid of 80% of his staff. Was this controversial? I'm not sure if it was, but it's like, if you know anything about having a business, it's not just like he's just like this evil person who just wants nobody to have a job, like, and I mean, but it's, the point is that he wanted to have people that, the necessary people in there to get the job done, and not a million people doing a half-ass job, or maybe just, paying all these extra people for just doing like a couple of things when one person can just have one full job and just work and earn their money. And I mean, it just makes sense. It's just common sense. So that's kind of how I feel about that. um yeah, so I mean, a lot of people are really upset about, like, they're just like, why is the richest man in the world in this position? But Trump is making changes, and he's friends with Elon Musk. Um because they talk about really important things. I know this because I've heard many conversations between the two of them. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So yeah. Anyway, jumping right into the next portion of the video. Everything is so wild in the world and in this US. Everything with the right and the left. The left has gone so far to the left that they've left the country. Okay, they've left Americans. I'm pretty sure they've ditched their own ideology a little bit. And, if you hate America so much, leave. Some of us are actually here trying to make things better and improvements for our children and generations to come. Some of us want that. Some of us want better. Some of us are just trying to think positively about it. And that doesn't seem to be what they want. And they're always talking about how much they hate it. And it makes me sad for them, honestly. We're supposed to be making this a better country for our kids. And that's what I want to see. Change. So just to piggyback off of that last statement, what is the ideology of the left anyway? Because it seems like they've ditched their original value system, and there's a new, I don't know what to call it, a phenomenon or a way of life that they are choosing, and it's to not have kids. And it doesn't seem like they're ditching wanting to have children, or the idea of it, or doing it, or whatever. They're doing this because of their hatred for America, and thinking that this is just a shithole, and that it's not worth saving. I've heard that plenty of times. Uh, it's selfish. It's selfish. So, to do a little bit of research on this subject, I just Googled this: women choosing to be single. And top comments: are there reasons as to why they want to be single? They hate men. They're they're focused on their careers, which, yeah, that's great. But what about like the circle of life here? I actually seen a clip earlier today, which I can try to put that in here, of, or no, it wasn't a clip. It was an article, and I can link that, of a mother who was really looking forward to becoming a grandmother. She's not going to have that opportunity anymore. These things that are essential to how how human life forms and works in the circle of life, it could it come to an end? I mean, this next clip that I want to show you, it's about witches. The TikTok libs are trying to use witchcraft to ward off and defeat Trump. That's right. Let's roll the clip.
Mirror in my hand, reflect back upon them. That is where their intentions will land. Mirror, mirror in my hand, reflect back upon them.
So what we have here is about 15 to 20 witches at Trump Towers attempting to cast a spell on defeating Trump. And there is also a woman there who is counter praying against the witches here to hopefully counteract their spells, which is very interesting. And we can see that played out pretty well, considering all recent events. Last but certainly not least, I have one more story for you. This is a photo that was posted on social media, and the person is asking, is this appropriate for a kid's classroom hallway? I would love to know what your thoughts are on this. I'm sure the person who posted it would love to know as well. And basically, for those of you that can't see the photo, listening, ears only, this photo rather is art hanging in a hallway of, there's two pictures here. One is a woman in just her underwear, completely nude besides, the underwear, with a cat coming at her face, flying at her face, I guess. And then the other one is of a woman in the kitchen, and she's chopping up vegetables, but she specifically has an eggplant in her hand, which is widely known, emoji-wise at least, as male genitalia. So what does this art even mean? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to know what you guys think this art means, because that is what we're supposed to do with art, right? We're supposed to describe it in our own heads and kind of make up whatever we want about it. But ultimately, I would love to kind of go over what the consensus is here on the post. So I would say that 90% of the commenters are in agreement that it is inappropriate. Then there's a few that do not agree. An interesting take in one of the comments was this. My first response was going to be absolutely not appropriate, but then after I thought about it, I realized just about any art gallery or any art museum has paintings or pictures and even statues of nudity. It has been a part of art for thousands of years or longer. I would have to say that even though young kids are in this class, I would personally use it as a teaching moment if my kids said something about it. Response: I completely get what you're saying, and that might work in some ways. But generally speaking, it's not that establishment's choice to make for you or your children to have that conversation in that very moment. It's not that establishment's job to implement private conversations in a setting like that. When I make videos on YouTube, I check mark that it's for 18 and up. Because it's not my job to tell kids about things happening in the world, it's their parents' job. The world has shifted to a place where strangers think it's okay to make decisions for our kids. The response was, you are absolutely correct, but when you are visiting someone else's establishment, I don't think it's anyone's place to tell them what they can have showcased. That is like me taking my kids to, when they were younger, to the Detroit Art Museum and not realizing they were going to have statues of grown men naked and full viewing of their privates, oops, and then posting it online, trying to get them taken out because I was offended or blamed them for making me have that conversation with my kids because I just wasn't ready. Just my thoughts. Okay, and I said, yes, but it's also a public space which other people should be taken into consideration for instead of riding on their ideology only and no one else's. I just think there should be balance as much as possible and consideration for others. Overall, it isn't just this establishment, it's a problem that's becoming increasingly more and more common, and it's too comfortable with sexuality. Sexuality and kids do not mix, which is fine for adults. The art, anyways, but putting it in kids' faces constantly is no longer balanced. Just going down the rabbit hole a little bit here, a subject for another time, another video, is that these same types of people generally think it's okay, also okay for kids to have a gender transition, and then it just seeps into further issues and so on. And I just believe that balance is key. That is all I have for you today. And I really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch my videos. And please leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on any of the different topics that we talked about today. And please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It really helps this channel keep the flow going. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.